But from one management to another, we have Angshu Mallick, the CEO and MD of Adani Wilmar, as well as Shrikant Kanhere, the CFO at the company, joining us to talk to us about their earnings. The stock is not reacting very profitably to the earnings because this time there has been a slide when it comes to the revenue. As a result, there is a slide in EBITDA, and the profitability has also taken a substantial hit. In fact, a loss what the company has reported. Just wanted to begin by understanding this, Mr. Mallick, of what impacted the performance this time around. Is there any one-off, any exceptional that is impacting the profitability?
The good part to note is that there has been 25% increase in volumes. Edible oil has shown very good growth of 27% volume quarter on quarter. We haven't seen such kind of growth in edible oil, particularly branded edible oil. Fortune as a brand has grown faster, and we see such kind of traction because of the prices coming down, and edible oil prices have really come off, so consumers have come back to their preferred brand. On food, we continue to grow at more than 20% for the 8 consecutive quarters. So growth-wise, we are now consistent on our food growth, and today food business as a volume contributes almost 25% of our edible oil volume. And industry essential also has shown growth of more than 21%. That is mainly because of the oleochemical business, castor oil, and the soya meal and rapeseed meal that we export. So overall, volume-wise, we are very satisfied. What has happened is that the edible oil prices have come up very sharply, and as we are not able to contra-hedge the local oils, particularly in India, there is no such hedging mechanism. We can only hedge in the BMD and CBOT. So that leaves substantial part of the oil not getting equally hedged. But then these are not a normal phenomena. These are because of the geopolitical nature. You have seen the drought in Argentina, the Ukraine-Russia war continuing, and at times creating a lot of disturbance in supply chains. And then overall monsoon, all this put together impacts the prices. And I think these are not something that we have seen for a long time, and these are unusual issues in agribusiness.
Shrikant, volumes are back, good. What about margins? How are things there on overall margin picture?
See, I think, yes, what Mr. Mallick said, we are quite happy, and volume story is quite encouraging for us, and for any FMCG, volume has to go up. And we have been able to grow 25%. On margins, so yes, I think your first question was, is it something which is unusual? Yes, this time it was a little bit unusual because what we saw in this quarter is basically a disalignment of hedges, which we normally do on a foreign exchange, on various exchanges of commodity. They didn't go in tandem with the local markets for a physical trade. And because of this disalignment, what has happened is you had a loss on the hedges, whereas your physical trade didn't give you a compensating gains. So this is a one-time kind of thing which has happened. Usually it doesn't happen because when you hedge a commodity, ideally when you lose on a hedge, your physical trade should give you a vice versa gain, which has not happened because the exchanges have gone in different direction, whereas the physical trade has gone in different direction in India. So that's the reason why the margin got impacted. But I don't think this should be a usual phenomenon. It's a one-time phenomenon.
One-time phenomenon, and I hope you're not sitting on those high-cost inventories and that you have managed to liquidate. But in terms of the market share, how's that panning out, Mr. Mallick?
See, as far as market shares are concerned, wheat, flour business, our market shares have gone up. Rice put together with Kohinoor and Fortune showing slightly up, particularly Kohinoor doing well because you have seen the traction of Kohinoor coming back, and I'm glad that this quarter end results shows Kohinoor at 3.7% market share alone. So that is a good thing for us. On edible oils, we continue with almost the same margins, same market shares. However, let me tell you, mustard oil have shown a very good growth And today, not only we are the largest, but by far a very, very clear double the share of any other brands. So that keeps us happy that at least in mustard oil, we have shown how well we can grow.
Mr. Mallick, talk to us about distribution. We understand that now rural towns account for almost 30% of your overall volume. And we understand that, it is the smaller towns and even the kasbas and, rural areas where people are moving towards standardization from unorganized to organized. How are you witnessing what phase your business is in? Are you getting tailwinds from this?
See, our growth in rural has been better than urban. Primarily, I would say two reasons. One, our in-depth distribution, which has started paying off. We have a dedicated rural distribution team. And then we have added at least more than 8,000 new towns, that is the rural towns this quarter. So that has given us benefit. Our reach has now increased in the rural market. The consumers have found these edible oil prices comfortable. As a result, the consumption of brands, particularly good brands like Fortune, has increased. So rural markets have done well. Along with this, I would say the e-commerce have also done well, better than the modern trade, because e-commerce, we are seeing very good growth, at least double the growth of modern trade in case of foods and edible oil.
Last question from my side, Shrikant. In terms of the edible oil prices, what is the internal estimate? Because on a year-on-year basis, of course, we've seen a sharp decline. Do you see some sort of stabilization of the global edible oil prices now?
See, the edible oil prices, I think, have been now stabilized. So we have seen a top of $2,000 a ton sometime in May 22 to now less than $1,000 a ton as we speak now. So these prices are more or less stabilized, but there are a lot of geopolitical events which keeps on happening. For example, the Ukraine war, which refused to die down, and these kind of things keep impacting the prices. But I think more or less they will remain in a stable range as we go forward.
And on that note, we'll let you go. Appreciate you joining us on the show. Thank you so much for making time. But what's happening in the market?